Alright folks, what is up? This is One Big Bugger, and I am coming at you with Euro Truck Simulator 2. And we are continuing our hard mode company rebuilding. And it's definitely been a long journey, and it's got a little bit more to go. Actually, it seems like it's got quite a bit more to go. So we figured out what cargo we want to take. But I'm noticing my truck has 2% damage, which I thought I fixed it. So I'm actually going to repair my truck first. Yeah, brakes on. This is like the only, between this profile and my other profile, I don't often turn the brake on unless I'm doing one video, which is why I forget. And I guess it is actually becoming habit. I don't know why my truck has 2% damage in the tires, but whatever. Anyways, we pop into our freight market, and we were taking this load. Yeah, this load is the one. And it is going to a destination I haven't been to here, so that's fine. I would like to take like this, but I don't like it. It's just too short for me. At only 8,000, yeah, we need something a little bit more. So, even though I don't think I've ever towed this particular load, right, I want to check my sound. I don't know if my sound changed in this one because profiles set separately. So I'm going to make it like down a little bit further. Alright, so our load's actually a little bit from here. I see you. See, the thing I wonder, like, you saw how I got stuck under the sign? I wonder if any of these trucks would get stuck under the sign. Or at a light. Wow, really? That changed already? Oh, lovely. Bus couldn't make the corner. Oh, you have got to be kidding me. Wow. Remind me not to be near a corner with a bus. Yeah, but our load's a little bit away, which means it's probably back at a quarry. I don't know if this is where we dropped off our. Honestly, I think it is. I think this is where we dropped our load, isn't it? Sometimes, yeah, my inner, like, 13-year-old rears his ugly head when I say things like that. But delivered the trailer. Whatever. Actually, I had somebody just recently, just a while ago, drop by and actually leave a comment on my channel that said, well, this is a nasty channel. Okay, why are you here then? I mean, I'm one of those people, it doesn't make sense. It didn't bother me. As a matter of fact, I left him a nice little comment that said, and yet here you are taking your time to leave a comment on this nasty channel, and oh, by the way, thanks for leaving a comment on my channel because it helps when somebody searches. Which is true. But regardless of all that, I just wonder why people take the time to do that. What goes on in somebody's head that if there's somewhere they don't like to be, they're going to sit there and go, oh, well, this place sucks. Okay. Yeah. If you don't like it, move on. I don't do that to people, you know. I'm not going to mention by name the channel. Okay, it's over there. I'm not going to mention by name the channel, but when I first really discovered YouTube, it was through Call of Duty content. Yeah, because I was actually playing a lot of Call of Duty. And I'm going to readjust. You know, I started getting into guys like Call of Duty's actually what introduced me to Chris Smoove and a couple other guys. And since then, my tastes have changed dramatically, as you may know. You know, I went through a whole League of Legends for a couple years, and what else did I do? Mass Effect, things like that, and I've eventually, you know, landed on Euro Truck, and eventually will be American Truck Simulator when it comes out. And the reality for me is, really, I mean, I'm pretty sure I can cut this, and I don't know if I'm going to have a choice otherwise. Alright, we're going to have a window of opportunity here. But back in the time when I was doing Call of Duty, and watching a bunch of people, you know, Call of Duty players and whatnot, and honestly, I forget half their names. The only one I kind of wish I'd stayed subscribed to was 402 Thunder, because he was pretty cool, funny, he was a good guy. But I ended up, you know, when I break ties with a game, I break ties completely. You know, I unsub from everything. Do you think you get back in your lane? Yeah, so I break ties completely when it comes to a game like League of Legends. I unsubbed from all my League of Legends channels. Every last one of them. But that being said, back in my COD days, I was subscribed to this guy I subscribed to early on, because he's a really good player, and I enjoy watching really good players, you know, like most people. Well, what ended up happening is, over the course, I'd say, of about 5 to 6 months, his general attitude and his general way of doing things, his demeanor, I mean, quite honestly, he was a prick. You know, he was good at the game, but he thought he was like a god at the game. Yeah, he thought he was a god at the game, and he was good, but he wasn't that good. And you know, he was one of those people that, like, I came to hate. The same type of person, League of Legends, you know, just pretty much a toxic player, which, well, when you're talking about COD, does that really come as a surprise? So, yeah, I ended up unsubbing from him. And when I unsubbed, I didn't leave any messages. Any disparaging, you know, really? Am I going to stop in time? Nope. And guess whose fault it is? Mine. Ooh, please don't hit me. Are you gonna move, or do I go around you? Come on. You know what? Frickin' stay there. I would have stopped in time, but I lost my retarder, and I was strictly on brakes. Alright, what's the damage? Amazingly none, but I got hit with a $400 fine. I love how I get hit with a $400 fine for him trying to pass. You know, that's something they need to fix in American Truck Simulator. And that's something they actually need to patch in this game. You getting hit with fines that aren't your fault. A car broadsides you, you get hit with a fine. Like you saw here, I end up taking a car head on because he's in my lane trying to make a pass. I get hit with a fine. It's disgusting sometimes, especially when you're doing things like I am in hard mode. You know, when you're playing in hard mode and you don't get a lot of money for the runs that you do. It really sucks. Something I really wish they'd fix. But anyways, speaking of the guy that I ended up, leaving, I actually said, when I left, I did feel the need to leave a comment. And I said what a lot of people said, but I tried to actually say it nicely. And I said, hey, you know what, I really enjoyed your gameplay. I think you're really good at the game, but your attitude just, you are who you are and you have your fans, and I have nothing against you and them, but personally, I just can't take the way that you act anymore. So, I wish you best of luck in, in the games that you play. I wish your YouTube channel best of luck, and I hope you and your fans have a lot of fun, but personally, I'm out, And I wasn't the first. Before I ended up leaving, he actually talked one time about he wanted to improve his attitude because he was getting a lot of subs that were leaving because of it. I never know what happened, but he was pretty big, pretty popular YouTuber, so unless something like really catastrophic happened, I'm pretty sure he was okay. I forget what else I was going to talk about after that, because I wanted to finish that and then touch back on, like with the accident, but yeah, man, that was just amazingly annoying. Oh, really? Oh, great. Now I'm 12% damage. Great. Great. Frickin' great. 3% on the cargo. You've got to be kidding me. I don't know how that happened, how I let myself do that. I really don't. There's a garage right there, too. That hurt. That hurt quite a lot. Hopefully we make the ferry on this run and I can just pop into the town and repair real quick. The 3% on the cargo doesn't bother me too much. But the 12% to my truck because that was real stupid of me. But I can't let it frustrate me too much. I really can't, because if I do, I'm just gonna make it worse. I'm gonna make it worse and start doing worse things. So I can't afford to do that. I just gotta chill, take my time, and recover. As I talked before, adversity happens, and we can overcome. We overcame the loss of 2 cargo runs. We can overcome making a mistake like that. We can do it. As long as my truck doesn't show any signs of problems, like the engine stalling or things like that, then we'll be okay. It'll be okay. So, I don't know if the accident jostled my memory or not. No, actually, I'm not going to go over yet. But it did remind me what I wanted to talk about. And maybe I'll put it in the vlog next week or something. People ask, you know, somebody asked, you know, because they thought I drove with a mouse and keyboard. You know, do you drive with just a mouse? You know, what do you do? What's your curve? Things like that. The reality is, and I tried to make sure I clarified what was going on, because I'm pretty sure I knew where he was coming from. I don't drive with a mouse. I drive with a gamepad. I haven't mentioned it in a while, and I've got a lot of new, well, not a lot, but for me a lot, of new subscribers. And I wanted to make sure I clarify for those subscribers exactly, you know, what I use. I use a Logitech F310 gamepad. Okay. Let me just finish making this corner here so I don't make any mistakes. The Logitech F310 gamepad is kind of like, for me, the best of both worlds. Being a PlayStation supporter, even though I can't afford a PlayStation 4 right now, being a PlayStation supporter, I've gotten very used to a PlayStation gamepad. And the F310 is shaped, molded, roughly like, well, not roughly, it's actually very, very close to a PlayStation controller. It's a little shorter from side to side. I believe it's slightly shorter, and it's a little thicker. The buttons that I'm using for the throttle and brake are a little more difficult to push down. So you got to get some strong fingers to hold the accelerator. But otherwise, you know, it's pretty much a PS3 controller, or PS4. Oh boy, toll booth. Just what I wanted to see. But anyways, the F310 is, oops, sorry, I did not mean to do that. The F310 is basically programmed like an Xbox 360 controller. Yeah? We'll have to keep an eye on him. I'm pretty sure he won't try to move over with me here. He thought about it, but I told him no. But yeah, it's pretty much programmed like an Xbox 360 controller. There's a switch on the back that says D and X. D is direct mode, and X is the Xbox mode. You put it in Xbox mode, you plug it into computer, and it reads like an Xbox 360 controller. The prompts that you'll get on your computer for any game will be the prompts for an Xbox 360 controller. So instead of, you know, triangle, circle, square, and X, you have, you know, A, B, X, Y. But the interesting thing about them is they're actually set up in a convenient place to where it feels natural to push the buttons. Basically what I'm saying is, if on a PlayStation controller I push triangle, which was, you know, the top button on the little diamond, I'd push triangle. On the game, in the game, we'll say push Y, and Y is actually where the triangle button would be, and it does that naturally. I don't have to set it up, so it's really, really awesome. And the best thing about this controller, I bought it used. Yeah, I bought it used for 12 bucks off Amazon, and I've had it for more than 2 years now. Any game that requires or is played better with a controller, this is what I'm playing with. Alright, this is what I'm using, my Logitech F310 controller. And if you can't afford a steering wheel, because God knows, like the Logitech one, even some of the more basic ones, cost upwards of $250. Even if you can't afford a steering wheel, at the very least, get yourself a gamepad. You know, even if it's not this one, get one that, you know, comfortable for you. Use an Xbox controller if you have to. I actually looked into getting an Xbox controller, and I saw they were like $40, $50, $60, and I was like, no. So I saw the F310, and I thought, wow, it's like a PlayStation controller, but it's programmed like an Xbox controller. That's my controller. And I absolutely love it. It's extremely precise. You know, even the rubber pads, which I've worn down a little bit on the controller, are still in good shape. And again, I'm going to remind you, it has been 2 years since I picked this controller up, and it's been great, man. It's been great. There are some issues with a few games. Like there was this one game I was playing for a little while, and I'm trying to remember what it was called. It was a game centered back around, I think it was World War II in France, and you played a Scottish guy, and you were like in the resistance. You know, a lot of bad things had happened. Your brother was killed, I believe it was your brother. Wow, I was going too fast still. I hate when I do that, and I do that like at least once a run. But yeah, and it was like, it was basically trying to be Assassin's Creed, kind of like Assassin's Creed and GTA mixed into one. Because you could climb on any building, and you could roof hop and things like that. And you'd go around and you'd like blow up different objectives, whether they be the story or you just did them for fun. And you know, all the places that were liberated were in color, and all the places that were still under you know, Nazi control was in black and white. You know, I've described it in as much detail as I can, just because maybe you know what I'm talking about, because I forget what it's called. But either or there, the whole point is in order to use a controller on that game, and using a controller was best for most of the game, using a controller on that game, you had to unplug your controller, start the game up, wait until the game got to the title screen, then plug your controller in, or else your controller wouldn't work right. And that wasn't just the F310. That was for Xbox controllers as well. I don't know why I'm getting so much loading, but I am. Actually, I want to be over in this lane now, by the looks of it. I am going to slow down. I've already gotten one accident, and I'm going to be putting out a ton of money for repairs, which is going to be here in this town. So I'd rather not get a speeding ticket as well. And I get a speeding ticket anyways. Lovely. That's 900. What about? We'll just say about 1,000 off the top of my run already. Man, this is like going back to my heydays when I drove like I didn't care. You know, and I've changed. I still don't quite 100% sim, but I saw the light change, but I was already committed to the turn, so. Is this the garage? No. It's up here. It actually looks like I got to turn down this road in order to get into the garage. Yeah, I do. Because it's a dealership. Which is cool. It actually kind of looks like an Iveco dealership. Yeah, that's actually pretty cool. As much as I may not like to drive Iveco trucks, being able to buy an Iveco... has it really been so long that I forget to check if my trailer's going to make it? Yes, yes it has. Oh boy. There's been some really poor play on my part, let me tell you. I wish when you pulled into a garage you could have like repairs done to your cargo as well. This sucks, I have to do this. Oh, 9,000. Lovely. Man. This has just not been for me. Did I screw up the cargo even worse? No, it's still only 3%. Alright, so it's not too bad. $9,000 for 12% repair. You know what? I can make it from here. That hurts, man. That really hurts. Adversity, like I was saying in the last couple videos. We must overcome adversity. It wouldn't be so bad. I mean, I can't trace it back to that accident. It was whatever mistake I made on that corner, because I wasn't quite paying attention or whatever, just screwed everything up. But it's alright. We're getting at least 17,000 for this one. We still got about 7,000 in the bank. So, and we're going to Africa, which means I'm going to fuel up for sure there. Because fuel ups will be stupidly cheap. Please stay green. I don't know, the lights in this game can be really weird. Anyways. Quit loading, game. Just quit loading. At least we get my favorite ferry. Where I actually get to drive up onto the ferry. Running start. Isn't this a little tight? And we only have one destination, so let's go. And it's still nighttime. I'm gonna shut it down. Alright folks, so that's gonna be me done for this video, and man, has it not gone very well. The accident, which was charged to me even though it shouldn't have been, and then wrecking up on that guardrail costing me a grand total of about $10,000 out of a $17,000 run. I got to be real careful for the rest of this, that's for sure. But other than that, I'm actually still enjoying the run. You know, all companies fall on hard times, and this is my hard times, but we shall endeavor. Plus, we found an Iveco company, which means that instead of having to get upwards of $100,000, you know, 110,000 or something like that, we can actually now get one for about 92 to 94,000, which is major. So we got that going for us, and we're going to make it work. As I was saying, though, that's going to be me done for this episode, folks. I hope you've enjoyed watching this as much as I've enjoyed bringing it to you. If you could leave a comment, rate, and subscribe down below, that would be amazingly awesome. But until next time, it's going to be One Big Bugger signing out, and I'll see you on the road.